Hi, or hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. I hope that's what you're doing. I just want to sit down and have a little authentic chat with you today. If you've noticed, it's been kind of choppy with me uploading full or long form content. Don't worry, I'm not going to stop recording videos. I'm just working on something on the outside that has gotten into my schedule and has made it a little difficult to do the daily long form uploads, but I have every intention of that returning. So I will still be posting daily the best I can. I just didn't want anybody to think that I'm backing off putting up stuff on this channel, because that's never going to happen. Never. Not until this body, this meat suit, croaks. Okay? If you would like to work with me in any way, shape, or form, all of that information is in the drop box below, as well as my 3 channel memberships. That's what the next thing I was going to say is, even if I don't get a long form up, I should be all done with my little side project by the end of this month for sure, and we'll go right back to normal programming. But the channel memberships are still going. So if you were to check out the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors, that's the group that gives you access to all 3 of the channel memberships. Those are still happening. Those we still get together 3 times a week if you join the VIP, meaning that's the group that gives you the access, like I just said, all 3 days. So that's a little over 3 hours of hanging out with my ass every single week. The Advanced Manifestors, deep dive manifestation to expand your awareness, basically, so you can get what you want and you can stop worrying about what 3D reality is showing you in this moment. The exclusive lives group, which will be going live together tonight, so it'd be a great day for you to join, which is the Success Story and Tips and Tricks only group. It's always a good time. Always a good time. It's a very fun group. All 3 groups are good. And then Fridays, we have the hot seat, which is just like it sounds. It's you get into the hot seat and ask me anything you want about your life regarding manifestation. But just saying, nothing's changed there. You can still show up for those and get the encouragement that maybe you think you need in this moment. But we're going to talk about something today in regards to, I know there's so much content out there and it can be so confusing on what am I supposed to do to manifest? You know, this creator says do this. This other creator says to do that. Honestly, this video is going to be the only video you will ever need to watch again. Truthfully. And I know there's plenty of videos actually titled that or on their thumbnails too. You are God. And that might be a tough pill to actually swallow. And it might be hard for you to even conceive the idea that you are, but you are. And you being God, you have this amazing little power source in here called your imagination. Your imagination, your awareness, we can intertwine those words. Every single moment of your life, whether you are consciously aware of it or not, you are actually making a decision over who you actually think you are. Before you find conscious manifestation, you're not aware that you're doing it. But it's like you filled up a backpack of everything you think you know about yourself, and you stuff it in that backpack and you wear that backpack all day long, literally all day, all 24 hours. When you hear thoughts in your mind, we've been conditioned to think that those thoughts define us, or those thoughts tell us or remind us who we are. So I'm going to use the example of if you're manifesting a specific person. Not only do I see when people are manifesting a specific person, they kind of lose their own sense of self, and a lot of their thoughts are consumed by the specific person. That is what most people are doing wrong. To consciously manifest, to be able to make a change in your world that you will know that you actually did that, honestly, only about 10% of that has to do with your specific person. And that 10% is simply if you already have a story about that actual individual. But the rest of it, that 90%, and if you're manifesting new love, you're already at that 100% mark. It only has to do with you. So from moment to moment, as you walk around and live your life and do the same repetitive things that you do all day long, I don't know what you do in the morning. Maybe you, as soon as you get up, you hop in the shower, start getting yourself ready, you drive to work if you work out of the home, and you go about your daily tasks. All the while, you're identifying as a self. It's like you're saying, I am the version of self where you fill in the blank. Now, when you first find conscious manifestation, you got to give yourself a little bit of grace because you're learning to break out of the habit of believing who you have been most of your life. I think sometimes people find conscious manifestation and like the light bulb has gone off that you can have some control over the things you experience, but you still don't necessarily feel any different. You still are, in a sense, really attached like a magnet to a version of yourself, which we could call a state of consciousness. The magic here is that you're moving through states of consciousness like a strobe light, so fast, fast, fast. You're doing it all the time, all these different little versions of you. It's God becoming the sun and going right back to being God. We flash and flash and flash, meaning we get so attached to specific states of consciousness, it can feel like nothing's ever changing. But that's just your perception. Every moment you are, again, you might not even hear those words in your head, I am, but you're saying it. You're choosing who you are from moment to moment. So going back to the example of manifesting a specific person, I would tell you that the version of me before September of 2022, if you're new to my channel, that's a reference point, and I got over 1,100 videos that eventually get you to understand what my September of 2022 was. It was a very pivotal moment in my journey. So I would have told you the version of me before that knew something was off. So I was identifying, right? I was identifying with that. That's who I believed I was. Someone who felt something was off, couldn't put her finger on it, but was not identifying as being completely fulfilled in her love department, and quite frankly, in a lot of her departments. And it was in that September that I would say the bigger idea of what our mind is doing, what our awareness is doing from moment to moment, finally clicked with me. You see, before that, I was always chasing a state of consciousness. Because when we are experiencing reality through the meat sack, right, through the guise of man, when we're moving around, we don't necessarily even know that we're in a state or out of a state. You're learning how to tell, how to identify, how to understand that you're declaring who you are all the time. All the time. So I would have told you I was reaching for a state that was the version of me in a really beautiful relationship. That's what I was reaching for. And I would get there and I would fall right back out. But the understanding of just how fluently, how malleable it is, but just how fluently you are doing that from moment to moment to moment to moment, literally moment to moment to moment. That's where that light bulb went off for me. Wow, I can see clearly who I had been identifying as. I just had an amazing conversation with a really good friend of mine who was coming into that, oh my gosh, seeing how she was really identifying, like knowing who she was. I'm a beautiful, amazing woman. I bring amazing things to the table. That's exactly what was happening for me. I was of the understanding that, wait, I am worthy and deserving of what I want. I already know that. I also know that I am worthy and deserving of being chosen. I am worthy and deserving of experiencing a true love relationship. What I would have defined as what true love means for me as this version of myself, or as this avatar, is Kimberly. But there was always that little piece of me that I was identifying still with not seeing the fullness of the results that I wanted. And then I fell into an even deeper shit state, like I would like to say. But I look back at that and I am grateful for it. I talk about this a lot, so I mean, if you've been here a while, this isn't anything new, but I just think we need this today. Let the light bulb go off for you today. You are God at every given moment. That's the realness of who you are. And in the moments that you're not feeling so great, that you're not seeing the results in reality that you would like, that you would prefer, and you think that there's still something missing, there's still something wrong, that's God putting on the outfit of that identity and experiencing physical reality through that identity. When you want things to change, this is why we say your awareness should change. And by change, I just mean shift. Become aware of something different. So for me, what I wanted, what felt like the most important thing for me in my relationship, or in my world, my reality, was I wanted a relationship that I felt safe and secure in, that I felt truly chosen, truly wanted, truly desired. I wanted to feel happy. I wanted to feel like I don't have to worry about this relationship anymore. I don't have to worry about it. I want to be in a relationship that I can just chill out and live my life and be okay, that I didn't have to be home worried about the damn relationship, or that I was manifesting that relationship. See, I didn't understand until that moment, that download moment, which was in a spiral, in that September, was, oh my God, I am God. And I am God having this experience. And God has given us the blessing. Again, you don't jive with the word God, insert the word you do, my friend. Insert the word, I don't care. Universe, higher power, source energy, moonbeams, whatever feels good to you. But I'm God. And I'm declaring that I don't have the thing I want, that my life doesn't look the way I want it to. I'm declaring it because maybe I didn't get a text message today. Maybe I didn't get the call I wanted. Maybe I didn't get, maybe I didn't have a date set between me and my person. Maybe I don't have this. And I was allowing all those 3D physical senses to really step in. And for realsies, I was allowing those to tell me who I am. I was agreeing with them. Well, the relationship doesn't look the way I want it to. I'm not very happy. I'm not very fulfilled there. So that's actually who I am. So I'm still waiting for reality to change. But yeah, I knew I was God. I knew I was God before September of 2022. I knew that. But it wasn't until that it really clicked here. Like, wait a minute. No, I'm God declaring that is who I am. I am the girl that's aware she's God, who is also aware of seeing 3D reality, seeing it that it's not what she wanted, so that's who she is. So think about it. How many times have you been on this journey yourself? And maybe you're manifesting a specific person too. Maybe you're manifesting something else. Maybe you're manifesting money. How many times have you, well, I did my manifestation technique, so I know who I am. And yeah, I get it. Theoretically, I am God, yes. But this is what I see in my reality. So right now, that's who I am. Nothing has changed yet. So I am that. I am the version of self that knows he or she is God, who knows what version of self I'm reaching for. Yep, I know. Oh, I hear it in the videos that I should just say that I'm that person already. I should just say that. So, yep, I'm saying it. I know I already have it. Put a little comma there. But I don't see anything in reality yet. So because I don't see it in physical reality, based off of the conditioning we have all had, I believe I'm not that yet. I'm not that yet. I'm becoming. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. You're God. You're God. That's what you're declaring to yourself. I am not there yet. Seems like I'm splitting hairs. Seems like I'm being too literal, too logical. It's an internal, spiritual essence change. It's really not necessarily the words. It's the essence of who you internally agree that you are. So I was internally, with my soul, with my essence, with my mind, I was agreeing it's not here yet. So this is who I really am. That felt right to me based on what 3D was showing me. That's what needed to change. I can become internally, I can feel the essence of the version of myself that does have the relationship, that does have the love she's always wanted, because I'm God. And because as God, you are already absolutely who you want to be. So in other words, your awareness has been aware of being not there yet. Not yet. We become aware of being all there is. All that is you. All that is me. We are all the absolute. It's another fancy word for God, universe, infinite potential, infinite possibilities, whatever you like for wording. That's what that means. You are that. I am that. But our expansion happens, right? Our awareness expands to the understanding that, holy shit, that's the true essence of who I have really believed I was. That's what had to change. So if you're manifesting something and you're waiting on the 3D evidence to validate you, do you see how you're waiting for something out in 3D reality, something out in the physical to make you feel better so that you can agree with yourself that you are the self you want to be? I like to call it the new self. That is what I called it, my new self. You can tap into and feel internally what it feels like to be the you that's already living and existing in the relationship. Why can you do that? Why, if you hear that question, what do you think it would feel like to already have whatever it is you're manifesting? Some of you get so stuck on the logic that you think, I can't, I don't know, because I've never had that experience. Yes, you can. Stop being so literal. Why do you even want it? Why do you even want it? You want it because you think you're going to feel a certain type of way to have it. So you do know how to tap into that. Why do you think you can even tap into that thinking? Why do you think you can imagine anything you want in imagination? Why do you think you can do that? Because it is what? a piece, a part. Some of you are going to go too literal with those words, so let me retract that. It is your imagination. Think of it as that's Christ. It's Christ consciousness. It's God. If you don't believe in God, okay, that is your direct connection to the universe. Think of the ocean and think of a droplet of water. If we were to take a little bitty piece, little tiny squirt of the droplet and a little piece of the ocean, and we put them under the same, what do you call it, microscope, they're both going to have the same exact, I think it's DNA, the same exact, it'll be identical. God and you, same idea. Think of God as the ocean. Think of you as the droplet of water. Same exact ingredients, literally. There's nothing left to do. There's no more techniques to do. Nothing wrong with techniques if they're helping. I'm just saying, there's nothing more to do. You just identify as someone who thinks or fears that there's something more to do. You're agreeing with that. You're in conviction of that. See through that. See through what I'm saying. Please. Please. You already are exactly who you want to be simply because you're God. You're the I am. She's bored. Very, very bored, aren't you? Very bored. You're already who you want to be. You just have to know it. Agree with it. Be in conviction of it. Think of the reasons you would say that you're not. Think about it. Why do you think you're not the new self? What are the answers going to be? More than likely, the answer will be, well, because I don't see it in physical reality. See, she did it super loud that time because that's a dumb answer. No answers are dumb. But it's not the smartest. Why? Because that's what everybody else is doing in their life. People who are not awake to conscious manifestation, that is what their responses would be. That's what the muggles would say. Because they're reliant on their senses, which is what we're waking up from over here in manifestation land. We're learning that we don't have to rely and trust what the senses may or may not be experiencing in reality. We're more than that. We are Christ consciousness. We are all that is. And you just have to know that. I am the version of self who is in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I am her now. I get it now. I understand that now. I am her now. Not in a few days, not in a month, not in a year. Now, in this everlasting now present moment, I am her now. Feel that. If you're manifesting something else, all right. I am the version of self who. Finish it. Finish that. Who are you? You are that now. Not when it finally shows up in physical reality. No, now. That same God that you are is the same God that will bring everything to pass. And everything you're experiencing is it being brought to pass. Probably should have used a different word. But do you see what I mean? Who are you now? Right now. See what you get for an answer. And if it's not the you that is aware of having whatever it is you're manifesting, why? Why aren't you that right now? What are you relying on as the evidence to tell you that you're not that now? And if it's an answer that has to do with 3D reality, there you go. You're still telling that story. You're still agreeing with that. You're saying, I am the version of self who doesn't have shit. You're doing it without even meaning to. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.